AskReddit by Subject Thorn. What is something that 2020's kids will never get to experience? Waiting for a new episode to come on at 7:30, yelling into the kitchen that it's starting. Calling your crush's house and having to politely ask a very scary dad if you can speak with Tanya. And then they say, that depends, who's calling? Or actually wanting the commercial break to be longer, so you could make it to the bathroom and back without missing any of the show. And also if you missed an episode, you were just out of luck. If you're lucky you could catch a run of it, but that was far from a guarantee. I was at work the other day when our department's landline phone started ringing. One of my co-workers, my age-ish, 30s, called out "I'll get it." I felt a weird sort of sad nostalgic pang. You don't hear that much anymore. As kids we would race to see who could get to the phone first and answer it. Nowadays I do everything possible to avoid answering my phone. Downloading a song for 2 hours and finding out it's a virus. Queuing 5 songs on LimeWire before bed and hoping at least a few get downloaded in the morning. Waking up early on Saturday morning so you can watch the next episode of your favorite cartoon. Similar thing to this. Staying up late on a Friday night to catch the new episode of whatever anime you were watching. And then never talking about it at school since you'd get mocked and beaten up for watching anime. Calling your friend's house and their parents pick up. Then you have to ask the parent if you can talk to your friend. Lol. I had all my closest friends' landline numbers memorized. I still have my 2nd grade's crush's phone number memorized 33 years later. Hearing your favorite song on the radio and waiting for it to come on again so you can record it on a blank cassette tape to listen to later. Having a CD binder the size of Merriam-Webster's dictionary for road trips. Taking a CD Walkman on a walk and making sure you didn't walk too fast or the CD skipped. Always hated it when a radio station would play a new song and only say the name at the beginning, so if you tuned in after it started playing you wouldn't know what it was called. It was amazing when car stereos first started to display the song artist info. I remember first seeing that in my neighbor's Chevy pickup in the early 2000s. Privacy. Doing stupid things without the whole world knowing about it on TikTok. Or saying stupid things online that's captured forever. If I would have had Facebook or Instagram from like 13-20, I can't even fathom how cringy it would have been. Luckily I only had MySpace, which is completely gone from the internet. Tangled up telephone cords. Phones with co-ed still exists. I literally have to untangle mine at the office daily. Watching that ticker at the bottom of the TV to see if school is closed only for them to cut a commercial when it's time for yours to show up. I watched that thing like an NBA draft. I had to listen to the radio. If I missed my town I'd have to wait a half hour for it to start again. Driving to someplace new with an actual physical map. And the evolution of that, a MapQuest printout. Having to watch the nightly news with your parents because you only have one TV. One screen, yes, I remember those days. Having 2 TVs was a luxury, and now, between TVs, phones, and computers, we got too much screens. Going to the movie store. That weird smell of plastic, candy, carpet, and popcorn that every rental store had that you can remember but never replicate. Dial-up internet and AOL chat rooms. AIM. Life without smartphones. But also think that this is more first world problems type of answer. So, please no hate. No, it's not a first world problems complaint at all. Before smartphones, there was no expectation that you respond so fast, and no location tracking. You could just disappear for a bit and get back to them later. Now the expectation is you have your phone on you, just about always, are therefore reachable, and if you don't respond promptly you're delaying doing so. Buying a video game and it has everything it should on it without having to provide an update or paying for extra content. My son got an Xbox Series S and it took me half a day to download Fortnite, set up all the accounts and work out how to set the parental controls so that he could play online with his friends. By the end, I was so fed up with going back and forth between my phone and this box, inputting pins and passwords, that I was ready to throw it out of the window. It made me pine for the PlayStation days when all you had to worry about was a scratch disk and whether your memory card had enough free slots. Being responsible for zero parental contact and simply just needing to come home when the street lights come on. Scheduling your television consumption around an ironclad TV schedule, pre-streaming and pre-TiVo recording. Not to get all boomer sounding, but the strict schedule and dealing with the consequences of being late, missing entire episodes, I personally feel, had an enormous impact on society's overall sense of entitlement. If you missed it, you missed it. Deleted. Walter's response to JFK made me weep. You could see the sadness and protective demeanor in his eyes as he announced the horrible news. Personal privacy. Doing stupid, illegal, immoral, unethical, ridiculous shit and there is no video evidence. Laughs and Gen X. There are a handful of incriminating Polaroids maybe. But this idea of video for everything is still wild to me. Recess appears to have been phased out of most schools in my area. WTF, that's a crime. Rotary phones. Their family not being on Facebook. Oh sweet, sweet early internet. There was once an incident where my personal Tumblr page, reblogs only thank God, cross-posted to Facebook. I would have thrown myself in the river if my mother had seen it. Luckily someone contacted me immediately and I told them I was hacked, lol. The joy of going to school without social media. I remember getting bullied in middle school and having a terrible time. But all that could have been so much worse if smartphones and apps were a thing back then. Kids these days must be so stressed out just trying to tune it out. How inescapable it must be. The day may have been hell but at least you got to leave it at school, now it's following you home. Timing snack breaks during adverts and rushing to quickly get back in time. And subsequently being scolded for jumping over the back of the sofa to be seated in time.